Welcome to Deeksha Vedantu. I'm your Aditi Mam, and in this video I am going to tell you one or two secret tips that you can use to score 95% by just changing these minute things, the way you make notes. Ma'am, 95% just by note making? Yup. When you say that I make notes, when you say I write things, it uses so many senses. You look at it, you maybe speak when you write things, you are using your skin. So all that things, if done right, can result in such good improvement of marks. Okay. Now, bacha, starting with notes, it is very important to make notes. We all know that, right? Writing, practice. I keep on saying again and again, right? But actually, what's the right way to make notes? Ma'am, tell us that, right? So, in this video, we are going to see that, okay? So, subscribe the channel because we are bringing so many videos like this. There are one-shots. We are coming live every day. So, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, okay? Now, bacha, starting with classroom notes, there is always a question that kids ask me, ma'am, should I make the notes after the chapter ends or should I make the notes while the chapter is still going on? So the answer is, bacha, it's never when the chapter ends, okay? Whenever this is classroom notes we are talking about, okay? So whenever you go to school, you have a rough notebook. You write there, you write down everything there, okay? And whatever the teacher wants you to write in your notebook, because I know lots of schools check copies as well, right? So whatever teacher is asking you to write in that notebook, whatever she is teaching, whatever the concept she is studying, right? Whatever she is teaching, ray diagrams, physics, chemistry, biology, just write it down, write it down. Take a rough copy when she is explaining the concept, just write down what you understand, okay? According to that, bacha, you are going to learn every new concept every day, okay? So you cannot sit down with 3 different kinds of color pens and write each heading and then concept and then notes and then tricks in a good way, in a good handwriting, right? So what I want you to do, open your book and just write down whatever your teacher says, be it a trick, be it a very important note, be it a very important concept that she is telling that it can come in the exam and you know that it will write because she told, right? So that is the first step. Now moving on to second step, where we are switching to the actual note which we have to study from that, okay? Now what I want you to do, that note beta is very, very precious. So this is your notebook page, right? What I want you to do, these are very specific, just on the first page of the chapter, okay? You have to write date and day. Why am I telling you? Because this gives you a sense of which day you were studying. Now imagine it's me, okay? I studied from a one shot on YouTube, okay? I studied on 10th June, but now I'm revising on 30th June and I got a doubt and I don't remember on which day I studied, and I cannot go to my YouTube history to see which one shot was it, because you might not find it, right? Even after searching too much, you might sometimes not find the direct video that you studied from, okay? So what I want you to do, write the date, write the day, chapter name obviously, and in this page, this is very important, in this corner you write your NCERT page number, as well as from, if you're studying from a one shot, which YouTube video you studied from, which channel or maybe which teacher. If you remember, you can just write, right? I studied from Aditi Mam. This video number was this, the chapter, the title of the video was this. It is a lot much easier for you to find, because after you recall, when you revise, you will obviously get doubts. To clear those doubts, you can visit the one shot again, right? Now very important thing, these should be very clean, very neat notes, okay? But this is your topic's name, write it in the heading. After the heading section, write down the outline of the chapter, what you are going to study, okay? This is basically the outline or the topics that you are going to study in this particular chapter, because sometimes you want to learn photosynthesis and you don't know in which chapter that is, so it takes so much time. We just want to be efficient right now, okay? So it takes so much time to go to photosynthesis and see some trick that you wrote to remember. But if you have outline, you just remember, okay, no, photosynthesis is not in this chapter, next chapter, oh, it's there. So you can find it like that, okay? Next, very basic, the way you are going to make your notes is, bacha, you are going to write the concepts with the blue pen, the heading with the black pen obviously, and then comes with the part where notes and tricks. You are going to do that with the help of a red pen. You have to take red pen, blue pen, black pen. We need it for the notes we want to study from, right? Because when you sit in exam, when you sit in the paper, just before that you need some notes to revise. And if your notes are clean, okay, if your notes are very neatly made, you will be able to revise in a lot better way, in a lot easy way. And definitely I guarantee you there is a person whose notes are just scribbled and your notes have 3 different pens. Maybe it takes you even a day more than this guy to make notes, but you just compare your marks and you will come and you will tell me, Aditi ma'am, you were right. Okay, so be sure to listen to me on this. Okay, pay attention. Now, bacha, what you are going to do, you are going to get one more sticky note. Okay, go and get a sticky note. We all have this. What you are going to write on that page, in whatever topic you have doubts, you have some super important information, or you have some tricks that you learned, that your teacher told, that you wrote in your classroom notebook. So you can take the help of your classroom notebook as well, because obviously teacher is going to tell you, we are going to tell you so many tricks that they won't be in your books, right? So you have to write down on the sticky notes, as well as in this section here, that is notes or tricks section. Okay, done. Now moving on to the second step, that is bacha, concept and diagram. See, in science we know how much importance, how much weightage the concepts, the diagrams, the numericals have, right? So this page, see how clearly the diagram is made, how clearly you can see that it's the 2 laws of reflection. Reflection is bending of light. The laws are these are the 2 laws, this is the diagram. So you have to make your diagram very, very neat, very, very clean, as well as you have to make it labeled, right? So your labeling should be very perfect. This is let's say this is for now to understand, this is your heart, right? And it's broken as of now, so you label it like this. You label it like this, and this. You don't do something like this, this is left ventricle, right ventricle. Okay, do not do that. You just label it, your heart, in such a manner that you understand the diagram whenever you come back to it. Okay, if you just scribble, you are going to understand it that moment, but after you come back for revision, you will not understand what is this I have written. Okay, so that is very important. So in this, you completely neatly write your definitions, your diagrams, equations, notes and tricks. This is the complete package for a single concept. Okay, what? Complete package. Now in that package, you have to write definition, obviously, write down, make the diagram right next to it, because bacha, that is going to give you a lot clarity on that concept. Of course, in biology, in chemistry, in physics, diagrams are very important, and you understand, if you have excretion process, of course you understand it better with the diagram, right? So that is very important. In chemistry, equations are very important. Notes, what are the important information, important notes and the tricks. So this whole is a complete package to make a question so worthy that it will give you 95%. Okay, now moving on to one more thing now, numericals. Bacha, there is a proper format that you have to follow while attempting numericals, be it physics, chemistry or small biology diagrams even. First, you are going to write given. Now in given, if you have attended my classes, you know we always write as we read. That is my one line that you will hear in every live, in every numerical video. Okay, we write as we read. So as you read the question, you are going to write it here simultaneously. The signs of the focal length, the mixture, the percentage of solution, okay, everything. Then you have to write to find, which include, let's say I have to find the image distance, I'll just write V, that is what I have to find, and then solution. Okay, and then solution. If you break down your numericals in certain pieces, it will be very easy for you to understand and complete it. And in that as well, of course you will write the formula first. Okay, you will write the formula first, then you will substitute the values, right? Where will you take the values? You will take the values from given, right? You will substitute the values and then you will do the calculation. And bacha, what is the last? That is, in the box you are going to write your answer. Answer will be always in a box. Understand? This is the whole procedure you have to follow to attempt your numericals. Done. Now the last part is bacha, short notes. We know that notes are very important, but for revision, just like the last minute revision, we still need some short notes. Okay, now for those short notes, bacha, how will you make this? You just need one page, one concept. No, one chapter, mostly one page, or let's say 2 or 3 pages in one chapter. One chapter is gone in 2-3 pages max. It's better if you complete it in one page, but let's say you have ray diagrams. So I have completed all the ray diagrams in a single page. You make small ray diagrams, so when you open a single page, you have every information here. All the ray diagrams of concave mirror, concave lens. This is a mirror, this is a lens. So you will draw the diagrams here, right? I have drawn here infinity, F, beyond C. See, I have used on the board. Even if I can write this small, you can write this on a page. Okay, I have written it. So you can't give me any excuses. Done. So this is how you make the short notes. You mention what are the important points. Okay, you mention what are the tricks that you need to remember. There are some tables, there are some series that we have to remember in chemistry, right? So you'll mention that here in that particular chapter, in the short notes of that particular chapter. What are the important points, the sign conventions in ray diagram chapter, right? And if you are in class 9th, the graphs of motion chapter. Okay, all those things, bacha, are very, very important for you to mention in the short notes. Done. That is basically it for you to make clear notes. It just took 10 or 11 minutes for me to describe you how to make good notes. Now, bacha, it might take you few hours extra from a person who is just scribbling in his notebook, but you will remember my word. You will remember that Aditi Mam said that just if you just give 1 extra hour, it will improve your grades significantly, not just by 1%, 2%, significantly. Okay, because when you write down neatly, your brain is sorted, everything is neat and clean in your brain, and when you write down in your exam as well, it will come out neat and clean as well. And that's what we talk about, presentation, right? So eventually our goal is to present better and get good marks. It starts with good notes, clean notes, neat notes, and these are some tricks you can use to efficiently make your notes. Okay, that is it, bacha, for this video. I'll meet you in the next one. Tata, bye bye.